Mahal and Meadow are having a staring contest, everybody. Who's gonna win?
It's definitely her. Oh, she blinked.
That dog just stares at you guys. It's so freaky. I witnessed it firsthand this weekend when I was visiting Meadow. You turn around, she's right there staring at you
Yeah.
all the time.
She's my shadow.
Yeah, she really is. I can't believe your mom put bells on her.
I'm gonna take it off so it's not jingle
Yeah,
jangle. Her little Christmas bells. She
they're
sounds
adorable
like
though.
a little reindeer.
She's so cute. It made me so happy to see the excitement that those women had when we walked into the store your mom
That
was at.
was so
I
funny.
caught it on camera.
These 2 women saw Mahal and just had a field day.
Freaked.
Granted, they had a dog at home that looks exactly like her, so it was pretty cute.
Tell people your PSA.
Please. I know that my dog's the cutest thing you've ever seen in your entire life, but please refrain from just like using your tongue to make out with her. Like it's just a lot and it's my dog. I don't it happens all the time and frankly just the worst part about having a dog is
Mhm.
other dog owners. It really is. From
Yep.
whether they're yes, she's friendly and then they try to attack my dog to I love dogs. I'm going to get on the ground and make out with yours. Like it's so cute. Please love her and give her attention, but please stop like kissing her so intimately. That's my dog. It's weird.
It's really weird. I don't
I
own a
just
dog, and I was weirded out by it.
Well, if you don't own a dog, all of it is weird behavior. If you do own a dog,
Yeah.
you get like, oh, cute, fun, whatever. Aaron and I always talk about it because it's like, not only is she so small and cute and delightful, but she will run into your
Yeah.
arms and lick your face and hold you and be so cute and smile and like give you all the interactions that you're
She makes
looking
you feel
for.
so important, yeah.
You know what I mean? As a small dog. And so everyone wants a piece of this.
I can't believe she's just stayed sitting that way the whole time.
She'll give it to you, but I'm
Oh,
saying,
yeah.
please refrain.
Guys, when I slept at Meadow's house this weekend, Mahal was first of all, slept behind my knees the entire time. Second of all, Meadow
So
wakes up
cute.
earlier than I do, so left the room. Mahal was standing outside the door. We will insert
Oh,
proof. Okay, we'll
we will
send you the
insert
photo.
proof. Yeah, she was like crying and getting there and then just like looking at the door, like, where is Gabby?
And then when you let her in when I was awake, the fear that came over my body because I saw her eyes. Meadow put her on the bed and her eyes got so like as if she hadn't eaten in weeks, just sprinting towards my face. Like my heart skipped a beat
You love
and then just
her.
shoved her tongue like in every hole on my face.
Orifice.
Nostrils, ears, mouth. Like I was like, Mahal, this is
Eyes.
no one
Yeah.
wants this
Yeah. She wants it
so badly.
so badly. She just wants your love so badly.
And like I'll give it to you, sister, but like, god
It's a
damn,
lot. No, it's a lot.
it's a lot. Anyway, welcome back.
It was really fun though. It was fun to cuddle.
Mhm. We had some good bestie time. I
Yeah.
loved it. It was the first time that I'd been there by myself with you guys,
I know it was
which is
really
weird.
you hadn't really had like a cozy weekend in our apartment yet either. So I'm glad that you got the vibe. I'm glad that you thought the vibes were immaculate.
Am I an easy guest? Because I don't wanna do anything?
Easy. You're an absolute easy guest. I mean, none of us ever
Okay.
want to do anything.
Yeah, but
No, completely
I'm like,
easy
"But tell me
guest.
I'm the easiest."
No, you're the best. You're absolutely
Thanks.
the best. Come anytime you want, please.
Okay.
I think
Yay. It
Aaron
was
had
so
fun
fun.
too. Aaron's
I
really
hope
on his
so.
RuPaul shit. So the fact that we could all just like sit there and watch RuPaul, he was thrilled.
No, I was so happy I got Meadow's hometown tour, saw all the homes she grew up in, loved every second of it. It was so beautiful and fucking picturesque. And then she was, like, giving me all these options as a best friend does to keep me entertained, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Honestly,
Can we go
can we go
home?
home? Like, I just wanna lay on your couch, let's watch some RuPaul, let's order some
Yeah.
food."
Yeah.
Mhm.
The food needed lime. The leftovers were good.
Yeah, how were those leftovers? It was good.
They were good.
Those veggies, fire.
Yeah, I basically just ate rice, broccoli, and green beans as leftovers, and it was fantastic. And then Aaron ate the
Yummy.
rest.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was really
the
good though.
lime needed to be done, but it was great.
But come back so we can get pho again, because I do really want it. Shit, I might ask Aaron to
Yeah.
go.
Oh god, that fuzz really good. So I was
I
gonna have
won't reveal my secrets.
FOMO.
Everyone in San Diego already knows what it is, and if you don't, I'm so sorry because I really try to not gatekeep a lot of things. But if I frequent an establishment all the time, I'm fucking gatekeeping it. I'm so sorry. Just for a
Honestly,
matter of
same.
personal safety.
Same.
Yeah. Not like we have tons of followers or whatever, but you know
No,
what?
but it
It's
doesn't
how it
matter.
starts. And we have already gone some weird DMs and we have friends that, you know, bad digital boundaries. So I'm going to gatekeep
It
some
doesn't
of my favorite
matter who
spots. I'm
you are. I
sorry.
don't like the same thing with posting where you are when you're there.
Oh,
That was
never.
my
Never.
biggest fucking point of contention with my boyfriend when we first started dating
It
everybody,
was
because
sketchy. I
he
remember.
would post shit in the moment.
He would do
Here's
lives,
my location.
Gabriella. Do you remember
Don't
that?
tell the people that. Who they're gonna think I'm dating. Do not tell the people that. This was before the Instagram cleanse, Meadow. I
Oh my
cannot believe
God.
you outed him
The
this
way
way.
that Aaron is, I've told you this already, but the way that Aaron,
You can't say this out loud.
I'm not going to say the thing, but the way that Aaron knows the pre-Instagram cleanse
Here's the
is
thing.
so fun.
Let me defend my man really quickly, because if a man, no hate, no shade, do as you want to do, but like I'm fine if not excited by a man that their Instagram is tragic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm like, oh, they don't care. Like,
It's fun. They don't care. Yeah.
It's one thing if it's your job. Like, it's one thing if you're like a professional who needs to use it. It's one thing if like you're a social media person, like fine. But like something about, I don't know, I think it's just an ick of mine. Something about like a man with a perfectly curated Instagram who's like not famous or doesn't have a following or like do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think to each their own.
But to each their own.
I've dated
To each
both.
their own. I'm gonna get myself into trouble. I'm gonna get myself
You
into trouble
are.
on here saying
But
that.
who cares? You can have an opinion. I've dated both. And
Because
frankly, it
people
doesn't
say
make
that
a
about women
difference.
too,
But
you know?
yeah, exactly. Frankly, it doesn't make a difference. But I've outed Aaron's Tochella on here before. People know. His Instagram was
Yeah.
wild.
I just need to set the record straight. He wasn't like going live to talk to people.
Yeah.
I like feel the need to set the record so straight.
Go ahead.
It was for a specific reason. It was not because he was just like going live. But the point is that like his location was tagged in the fucking live. And I
Yeah.
was like, are you kidding me?
It's horrifying. It's
I
absolutely
don't care if you have
horrifying.
one follower or if you have a million.
Yeah.
Like safety.
Safety first,
friend.
then teamwork.
Come on.
That's the rule. Anyway, welcome back to
so now
Thoughts May
every time we
Vary.
go to a restaurant, yeah. I was like, I'm just gonna keep going
I
on
know
here and
you
there's
were.
nothing else to say about it. 20 minutes in, Gabby's still talking about the importance of not posting while you're there.
Can you tell that we just did a Patreon episode where we've just been rambling for 30, 40 minutes?
Best idea you've ever had was to do that first.
Because
we were slow moving on that one.
I could just feel it. Yeah, we really
Just
were.
gloomy.
Sorry, Patreon.
It's just gloomy. I woke up feeling a little
Cozy.
sicky. What's your excuse?
Yeah, nothing. I'm just here. I'm just vibing. I say it in Patreon. Like I'm in the past couple of weeks, I am just here. I'm here. I'm moving.
Your
I'm grooving.
energy's been
Nothing new.
A1, Meadow.
I've been having good energy. I'm just
Mhm.
vibing in my daily routine. Quotidian moments.
You're
Quotidian's
being
one of my
very
favorite
present.
words. Yeah, I'm being very present, which is really fun.
Mhm.
Let's do a Q&A
Learning
though,
from
because
you
we have
every day.
thank you so much. Same. We have so many good questions
yeah.
this time, and I genuinely want to try to get to as many as we can.
Okay, yes.
Thank you for organizing
See,
them for us.
sometimes Meadow and I are like, do we film more Q&As? Because we feel like we just,
Oh, yeah.
excuse me,
Explain
record
this.
a lot of Q&As, but I don't know. I feel like every time we ask questions, you guys send a lot of good questions. So do you like solo Q&As? We just asked Patreon to let us know, but also let us know, send us DMs or join our Patreon and just message us there because we respond a lot faster on there.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, do you guys enjoy solo Q&As? Because we really do. And then that way it feels like we have space to do like maybe once a month, like a solo that's like a big unpacking that's more
Core wounds,
like with
sex
tangible
after trauma,
resources
all
and
of
yeah,
those
stuff like
kind of
that,
episodes.
bigger rather than
Thematic.
us just like rambling, because we feel like Patreon is a nice space for rambling.
That's kind of how
So
we're
if you wanna hear us
compartmentalizing our
ramble.
episodes moving forward, unless there's
A big-
outrage and demand and
Yeah.
protest. But for now, that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to do Q&As and then big thematic, gorgeous unpackings. And if you want the stream of consciousness ramblings, go to Patreon.
Mhm.
Okay.
I like that you didn't give up when you were saying the word consciousness. You just
Stream
kept
of
going.
conscious. I'm really trying to, the psychobabble today is just outrageous.
It's fine, Meadow. I feel the need to point out that I've been in this outfit, by the way, for 3 days. This exact sweatsuit.
I'm not kidding. Today is the first day I've changed my outfit in 3 days, but I'm on my period.
Yeah. Like, listen, we changed our underwear and like we showered once and like I slept in PJs, but the same sweatsuit.
Here we are. Yeah.
I just haven't put it away. It's just been in front of my bed. Okay.
I love that sweatsuit too.
Thank you. I spent so much money on it. I better fucking wear it every single day.
I love it. I really want to get my prescription put into the sunglasses, the cherry sunglasses I have, because I just don't reach for them
Mm.
because I can't see in them, but I just need to get contacts again. Anyway,
I
I
need to go get
digress.
new glasses because I'm getting headaches again.
Ooh,
So I feel like my
ooh.
prescription, I mean, the last time I
Let's
got a
both do
prescription was
that.
before the pandemic.
Yeah, I haven't gotten one in a while either. My eyes are bad. Let's be accountability buddies and let's do that.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, question number 1.
Okay.
Sick. Amazing. Whoa. That flew away from
Careful.
me. Advice on how to start your own business / pursue passions when you feel burnt out from your 9 to 5.
Hmm.
I have a lot of thoughts.
Please take it away.
Okay, thought number 1, and I'm taking this term, not that it's not a common term, but Chrissy Rutherford has a wonderful newsletter
Mhm.
that I love called
Forward
Forward
Joy.
Joy. Everyone should go subscribe. It's free, amazing. And she talked about leaving her job at Harper's Bazaar to go freelance. And she said a phrase that I was like, exactly. It's a calculated risk. You got to
Mm.
take a calculated risk, I think, is the key thing, because that means that you need to have your finances in check. You need to have backup plans. It doesn't mean like don't do it. It just means be very clear on making sure that you're squared away for however long you feel like you need to have money stored up before you're going to start, seeing that return on investment on whatever it is you're doing.
TBM calls it a 6-month FU fund. They say if you
Mm.
want to like start making moves to move on, you get a 6-month fuck you fund in place
Yep.
before you move to like cover 6 months all your expenses that you would need.
That's what my mom would call having your own money when you're in a marriage and like in
Yeah,
any
yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
any relationship. She's like, you need to have your own fuck you fund so you
Yeah.
can run whenever you want.
Totally.
And I was
Totally.
like, weird intention, but like it's true.
Your mom would.
Yeah. So yeah, number 1, take a calculated risk.
Mhm.
Because me and Meadow are all about
Mhm.
following your passions. Make sure, I would say, have mentors and expanders in
Mhm.
your life. Have mentors and expanders that maybe they're not doing exactly what it is that you're going to be doing, but that are on a similar route, have already accomplished something similar, can give you perspective and guidance, both in a
Mhm.
personal, because starting your own business, I'm sure, is extremely draining in a personal level, but also can give you financial guidance and just like those business smarts. I'm reading because I wrote it all down and my brain's moving too
Oh,
fast.
nice.
I would also listen. I would get your human design chart read
Wow,
because
cool.
I think it's a really cool way to work smarter, not harder. We're going to have a
Cool.
human design expert come on.
Yes,
We're
we
really
are.
excited about it. We'll get a code for Patreon. So if you're interested, once that episode comes out, sign over our Patreon and get your own human design chart read. I think it gives you a very good peek at where your strengths are and how to play on them. And again, how to work smarter, not harder. I
And
don't have anything else to
specifically
say
for
about that.
career too. That's interesting. I'm
Yeah,
excited to
definitely for career.
Gabby
And
got her
then the
human design
last
read. I haven't. I'm very excited to dive into it.
No, and the reason I brought that up is because I got my human design read maybe 2 weeks ago, and it has completely shifted the mentality that I'm moving from. Just
Wow.
because it's given me that sense of like, oh, I kind of needed a third party to tell me that, even though I already knew it intuitively.
Sure.
But now I know that that's the way that my body operates and the way that my mind operates, and it's given me that excuse to actually function from that, and I feel things moving a lot faster because of
Wow.
it.
Wow, that's
Also made
beautiful.
me a lot more present.
Oh my god, I cannot wait to figure out what mine is.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I
then the
know what
last
it
thing I
is,
would
but to
say,
learn about it.
yeah, to get it read. And then the last thing that I would say is if you're going to take the sleep, congratulations, that's exciting. That's so
Mhm.
amazing. But make sure that you're doing as much as you can. Obviously, fears are real and we're always going to have some fear of failure and all that stuff. But try to practice as much as you can moving from an abundant mindset and not a fear driven mindset, because that will, is stagnate a word? That
Yeah.
will like make you more stagnant, I
Yeah.
feel like.
I co-sign everything. I think the only 2 things I have to add are 1, be really gentle with yourself. Everyone's on their own timeline. Starting your own
Mhm.
thing is wild. Once again, Gabby and I feel like we're surrounded by a world where people are just like 19-year-old multimillionaires, and that's not realistic and that's not probable. And if your dreams are your
For
dreams,
some people, it
let
is.
them exist on their own timeline.
Mhm.
Yeah, for some people it is, but let that happen on your own timeline. And I had one other thing I wanted to say.
Your timeline is divinely guided.
Your timeline is divinely guided.
Good affirmation.
The universe never says no. It says yes, not yet, or I have something better for you.
I love that.
I
When you
heard
said it,
I heard it somewhere, I
or
don't
when you
remember,
wrote
and
it,
now I can't stop saying it. Yeah, it was a
you wrote
caption.
it and I read it out in the car to Zoe, and we both were like, damn,
Isn't that a good one?
Meadow has bars.
That's a really good one. Thanks. It was
Mhm.
not my original thought, but what is? I really had something else I thought was good to say, but I don't know what it is. Move on.
I'm going to let you take this one. Tips for teasing out your authentic code. Someone's listening to TBM
I
or
love
listen to the
that.
TBM episode.
I'm interpreting that as you're new to understanding what your authentic code is, and maybe that ruffles some feathers because it's different than how you're presenting to the world. Is that kind of how you're reading it?
I didn't necessarily take the second part of it, but I got the teasing out, like, way to get familiar with it or how to figure out your authentic code is the way that I interpreted that question.
Okay. Okay, that's different. Like figuring out what it is versus acting in it feels different to me. If it's figuring out what it is, frankly, TVM is such a good way to do that, or different values exercises. Our Co-Create journal has a values exercise that I think is wonderful,
Yeah,
but
it
I think
does.
nothing's done it for me like TBM, because I think if you did both journal exercises and coupled it with the EMDR meditations of TBM, that's such a beautiful way to find out the truth of what it is. Because unless you're going to create genuine space for meditation in a way where you're going to separate yourself from your identity and your thoughts and your emotions and what people project on you, I think people can think what their authentic code is. And unless you're really, really, really
Mhm.
actively deprogramming what's been projected onto you, what's your family stuff, like what are you doing out of ego, that might not align. And then acting in it can get kind of wonky. So I
Mhm.
really love that TBM has that space to have you practice that separation in order to have it come about as well. And then if it's in terms of parceling it out, that's a hard question for me because I feel like once you figure out what it is and you're reminding yourself every day, it's hard to not act in alignment with it. Or, I mean, of course, when we have triggers or blocks or other things come up, but it's hard to stray away from what you know is your truth when you're constantly reminding yourself of it. And I think when you're acting out of something that is so authentically you and delivering it with kindness and love and empathy and allowing other people to be who they are and allowing yourself to be who you are, shit aligns. And that can totally mean friendships dropping away, relationships getting stronger. It can mean some shifts are going to occur, but it just feels so much more natural. You know how we talk about like the sled going down the snow when we're forming neural pathways? Like that
Mhm.
choosing just becomes so much more effortless when it really
Yeah.
really really comes from the your authentic place.
And when you don't, like what you were saying earlier, like when you don't choose what's authentic to you, you're much quicker to realize it and adjust.
Exactly. I really hope that
Or
answers your
even if you
question
don't
though.
adjust, have the wherewithal to now know, like, okay, that wasn't acting in alignment. Like next time I'm not going to choose that
Mhm.
same thing.
Absolutely.
Great answer.
Thank you.
How to support someone in partnership as they work through trauma.
Hmm.
Um, Number one, I would encourage you to encourage them to make sure that they have as much support as possible around them, i.e., therapists, experts, all of that,
They said
healers,
partner
whatever.
specifically, like a romantic partner
They said in partnership.
in
Yeah, so I'm
partnership.
assuming a romantic partner. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that.
It's very easy for a romantic partnership to be someone's number one, and that's really not
Mhm.
appropriate, especially when you're working through some deep-seated mental health stuff. So absolutely resource out and make a strong community around you, and maybe you have to help them find that.
I mean, yeah, that's not to say that you guys can't unpack things together, but it
Absolutely.
could also be more from a place of like, look what I learned about today in therapy, or look what helped me today, or something that I unpacked. Let me
Mhm.
share this with you so that you understand me better. I also want to say, because I was going to say like, it's not going to come from like a trauma dumping thing, but I just think that that term has gotten so
Mhm.
misconstrued with
Mhm.
with the internet, because that's just a part of, I think, being in intimate relationships is
Mhm. Working through your partner's traumas. Absolutely.
working through things. Also, I would encourage you, if you're open to it, to getting your own therapist or doing
Mhm.
your own sort of work that can help you communicate to your
Mhm.
partner better.
Mhm. Educational resources, learn about if this is trauma in a way like Big T, or they're unpacking a mental health issue that maybe you don't have, like supporting yourself with education is really great. Going to a family or
Mhm.
friend, like Nami's
Like an
family to family
Al-Anon type
support
thing, yeah.
groups, an Al-Anon type thing is really great. Well, like we said, like having them have a different support system so that it's not on you, because quite frankly, it's really inappropriate to be your partner's therapist
Mhm,
and will hurt your relationship. Yeah, and taking care of yourself, be a model example, be
mhm.
take care of yourself, send them different podcasts that you listen to like ours, just share with them a coping strategy that works. What were you gonna say?
I was about to go off on a tangent about just TikTok. It's not even worth the tangent, to be honest,
Okay.
because I kind of already alluded to just terms getting thrown around and people taking them to extremes, and
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, get rid of toxic friends and, think about where you're expending your energy." Then people are like cutting everybody out of their lives and
Right, right,
doing
right.
it's just not letting anybody tell them anything, like, not just a random person on the street, but not letting their partner, like, tell them about something that's happened to them.
Oh,
Even if you're asking
relax.
like, "Hey, do you have the space?" Whatever. But do you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
just people take it
absolutely. Very
some people
extreme.
take it very, very extreme.
Yeah.
Um, okay, similar. How to support somebody who is figuring out their new meds when they say that they hate all therapy and meds.
Ask them different ways they like to be supported. Research different therapy modalities, like research maybe the meds they're taking, find other instances of people taking it, maybe in your real life, not on the internet, because that can get really sketchy.
Mhm,
Explore other things that feel really good. If they don't like meds, but they're still taking them for their mental health, but that feels like a point of contention, then look up some totally opposite coping strategy like affirmations or ASMR and get into something funky. I think it's just asking people where they feel most supported, educating yourself on what they're going through, and being there for them in an appropriate manner.
mhm.
I don't
Yeah, I like what you were saying about in addition to what they're doing that might not feel amazing, introducing other modalities, especially because that affirmation type stuff could really help with just reframing the idea of meds.
And I think that's the biggest point is approaching meds with such a open perspective as the
Yeah,
partner and being like, "This means nothing about you. People take blood pressure medicine all the time. If this is what you need right now, then this is what you do." Like, I don't believe
mhm,
that meds have to be forever. I believe if meds are forever and it works for you, that's fantastic. Like, I don't mental health is so individual that I think any way that
they
you can feel
did
supported is
say
great. Keep going.
this one was specifically, like, they put in parentheses, like, this person is
I saw the
diagnosed with
diagnosis.
schizophrenia.
Yeah.
So do we wanna believe the diagnosis? They put it in the question, I don't know. Or we're keeping it anonymous.
I don't know. We're keeping it anonymous. I think it can be in there.
Yeah, well, I said it.
I've had family members and clients with schizophrenia, and I think
Mhm.
meds can absolutely change someone's life. I think sometimes it's really hard to find ones that work for you,
Yeah.
and sometimes they don't work out. And I think it's everyone's individual journey is so unique. And if it works for you, it works for you. But I think being really honest about it, having a great support system,
Mhm.
approaching it with a really open mindset because maybe it's what you need right now, and that's totally okay. And as a partner, if you can reiterate that to someone, I think that's
Mhm.
beautiful. Meds can change someone's life truly, especially with schizophrenia.
Mhm. Shifting slightly, well, not slightly, shifting. Places/resources for learning about moon phases in relation to energies and manifestations. I'm gonna let you take this one away too because you are our resident. I'm posting all the moon stuff on
And every time
Patreon.
I do them, it's because I'm going to my, like, 3 or 4 favorite places and, like, taking all their messages and bringing it and making a
Mhm.
big compartmentalization because I am not in touch with this enough.
So what are your favorite places?
Alina Alive, this is all on YouTube.
Okay.
Alina Alive, Leor Alexandra, um, Akarnam LA, she has good ones, that's on Instagram. Sometimes Edia ASMR. She does tarot readings, though it's not really, like, understanding with the moon. I think the two most poignant ones that, explain it the most are Alina Alive and Leor Alexandra on YouTube.
Poignant.
Shit! Dude, I can't handle it. You guys, in case we haven't said this publicly, because I feel like I can't stop talking about it, poignant has been our favorite word for the past 3 months, and I was just writing an article, and I looked up the actual dictionary definition, and I guess in addition to how we're using it, by definition, it has to imbue, like, sadness or regret, but we've kind of been using it more generally, but for something that feels really, like, indicative or really representative of what we're
Mhm.
talking about, and now I'm, like, so mortified and embarrassed. I said it on the panel. I've said it on this podcast 100
I
times.
don't think anybody else fucking knows that because I sure didn't, not me thinking I represent the entire world, but I'm like, I had no idea either. I thought that I was using it correctly as well.
You know who will fucking put us in your
Don't feel
place?
stupid.
Ask your father.
Yeah, I don't wanna talk about it.
No, I wanna know his opinion. You have to now.
Yeah, I will actually.
Okay,
He
thank
will
you.
know. That's a
Yeah.
very good point.
That's a really good person to ask. I'll
I
ask
woke
my
up
mom
this
and you ask
morning
your dad.
Yep, I woke up this morning with an email from my dad,
I
and it was
love
like,
his
"Check this."
emails.
No, but it was like, "Check this out," and I was like, "What?" And it was like a forwarded email from somebody else that, like, works with him, and I was like, reading it, and I was like, "Does he want me to see this?" And then I responded, and I was like, "Confirming you sent this to the right person." And then he was like, "I absolutely did not," and then sent me a follow-up email, which I have not opened yet, that is let me just read to you
I love him so much.
the subject line:
Hola, Carlos.
"Mistake, blunder, omission, fault, and lapse."
Absolutely. Was it blunder or blender?
Blunder.
Blunder. I
Gabriela,
heard you say
whilst I'm
blender.
sorry to have sent you an email that was to be sent to another, I am thrilled and inspired when receiving a communication, no matter how brief, from my youngest daughter. Love, El Dad.
I love him so much.
He's
God, his
crazy.
emails make me so happy.
He's wild. Okay, next question. Okay, how to deal when life gets overwhelming.
Get present.
I would say, yeah, get present. You got to ask yourself what you need without judgment to fill up your cup.
And I think when things get overwhelming, you're thinking about a lot of things that aren't right here and right now. And when you really scale back to the right here, right now, and can drop a lot of those other narratives, and I think that has to, I mean, if you're really overwhelmed day to day, you absolutely have to. How many times can I yell about this? Non negotiable, start a meditation
No,
practice. Like, I
seriously.
can't reiterate this enough. It changes people's entire lives. It's the most research backed. It will transform your entire day to day experience. I can't yell at everyone enough about this.
No, for real, it's true. Even, I mean, not the same as going in depth meditation, but even just taking 5-10 minutes to stretch. The other day, I woke up so anxious and I started off with the meditation. And then later on throughout the day, I laid on the ground and just
Love it.
stretched. And it forced me to be so present and remember that, like, I am existing in a
Mhm.
body, and it grounds you back to earth. You can also do grounding meditations
Go
where
on a
you're
walk.
pretending that like a root is coming out
That's
of
our
you, like you
favorite
and I were
one.
talking about, that
Root
like
chakra
put your toes into,
all the
yeah,
way
go
into the
ground yourself
center
in some
core of
grass or
the
at the
earth.
beach.
Yep, yep. I love
Mhm,
all of
mhm.
those.
Getting yourself present, I think, is incredibly, incredibly
And then
valuable.
you could
There's a
journal
reason
out
people
all
yell
your
about it.
worries, so you get them out on paper, maybe
Mhm.
burn it or maybe just leave it, then try to do the meditation grounding practices, get as present as possible.
Maybe take, if you're a list taker or you like writing things out, maybe take inventory of where you're expending the most energy or
Mm.
any of your energy, and then sort of working through that and figuring out what's like a waste of energy or what you want to be putting more energy into.
That's one of my questions on my old gratitude journal that I think I shared on TikTok a long time
Mhm.
ago, but I found my like 2016, 2017 gratitude journal. And every single day I used to write 2 to 3 things I'm grateful for, 2 ideas I had that day, um, 2 things that are out of my control, 2 things that are in my control, and then what I want to spend more of my focus or energy on that week. And it's such an incredible daily check in.
Mhm. Okay. Next. Q. We're just plowing through these, aren't we?
We're trying.
Okay. I love that somebody asked this because Meadow and I were just talking about this. Where to start healing your sacral chakra. I did a little research because I was like, I have no fucking clue. Ask Dr. Michelle. She's
Oh,
the one
do
that
you
would
want
tell
to
me.
share what your research said?
Sure. So I was about to go on a tangent about like what it actually is, symptoms, stuff like that, but I feel like maybe we don't do
No,
that.
do a little bit because I'm sure some people don't know.
Okay, so your sacral chakra, I'm reading, is located 2 inches below your belly button
Reproductive
and
organ
governs your
area.
emotion, sensitivity, sexuality, self expression. Some symptoms from when it's not balanced or blocked can be depression, anxiety, things that come from sexual trauma and
Mhm,
shame, lower back pain, hip pain. And a lot of the things that I was reading were about Reiki,
mhm,
finding a healer, someone like Dr. Michelle that practices 5 element acupuncture, water, drinking
mhm,
it, connecting with water, certain foods. You can look up a list of foods that are healing for your sacral chakra. Um, Different creative expressions because it's tied to your creativity as well. So, like
mhm,
doing random things that light up your creativity,
mhm,
or surrounding yourself with people who are really creative. That if you're not feeling it in that moment, you can find those people and like kind
mhm,
of feed off their creativity. Different hip opening movements,
mhm,
crystals. I
mhm.
feel like you were doing a lot of stuff around that, huh?
I was doing all of that, and I co-sign every single thing you say. I'm like, listen to our Dr. Emily, Sex with Emily
Mhm.
episode because that has a lot of really good information in that, and we talked about that a little bit. Mindful masturbation practices, creativity practices. Whispers of the Wolf and Edia ASMR have a lot of sacral chakra specific videos, and you can kind of like meditate with them and visualize them like pulling traumas out of it,
Mhm.
communicating with your partner, wearing different things, doing different things, journaling about it. Yeah, I love everything you said. Co-sign all of it.
Love that this is the next question because you kind of just said wearing different things. Somebody asked personal style tips. I've just had a breast reduction and I'm thrown now on what to wear and where to start. Dress for you, because this is,
Yeah.
as simple as that sounds, this is a lesson that I'm drilling into my head
We
now
talked
when
about
I'm
this a
about to
lot
turn
this weekend.
27. Yeah, because I'm so
Yeah.
over dressing. Listen, love a trend as much as the next person, but I'm so over dressing in a way that's like me trying to keep up because nothing feels more uncomfortable than when you're in an outfit that you do not feel good in.
Mhm.
So whatever
Absolutely.
feels like it's your second skin, like it was made for you. I interviewed this poet, I can't remember her last name. Her first name's Orion. She's amazing. I interviewed her a while ago and she was saying that she does not buy anything that does not feel like when she puts it on that it was custom made for her.
Love that.
And
I
I love
disagree
that
slightly
advice.
because I have a very intimate relationship with my tailor, and I will buy anything and have my tailor make it feel like it was
Well,
custom
yes,
made for me.
but listen,
Thank you.
we are also
It's a
living in
good
a world
tip,
where
though.
not
Clothes are not made for our
yes,
body. That's why go to the
clothes are
thrift
not
store,
made for our
take it to the
bodies.
tailor, pay $10 and have it be bespoke. It is my biggest hack ever. I take
Ooh, get rid
every
of
pair of pants I
sizing.
ever buy.
Like,
Get rid of
take a
sizing.
number out of your head.
Oh my gosh, I wear pants
Mhm.
anywhere
No,
between,
seriously, same.
like 4 to 6 sizes
Yeah,
difference.
no, same. Literally same. I was just talking
Absolutely,
about this with
depending
my
on
sister.
style. Yeah.
I was just talking about my sister. I was like, "Oh, I bought it in this size." She's like, "What?" Like my sister and I have different bodies, and she's like, "Oh, I wear that size."
It
And I'm like,
doesn't
"Yeah,
it doesn't
because it
make a
doesn't
difference.
matter.
Yeah.
It's a fucking number." And like whoever started this brand probably had a different sample size
Exactly.
than whoever started that brand, and it's made for different body types. And like, just find what works for you. So get rid of numbers. Find just whatever makes you feel
Whatever makes you
good.
feel good. Start
Whatever
a
makes you feel
Pinterest to
good.
see like what kind of vibe is yours or what you like or really gravitated to. I think it's also helpful if you're like changing your style, kind of connecting it back to the sacral stuff. When I healed my sacral chakra, I really wanted to get in touch with my divine feminine more. So I went through and was selling all my clothes on
Mhm.
Depop or giving it away to local spots and then trying to fill it with more skirts and more dresses because now that feels good because I've healed my sacral chakra and in touch with my feminine and not afraid to express it in a way I once was. And I don't want to just dress like a teenage boy anymore, even though that felt really good for a long time too. Like you go through phases, you go through vibes. And as you change and heal, I think it's
Mhm.
really, really, really fun to play with that with fashion. That being said, make sure you're comfortable in it. Make sure it
Yeah.
feels like you. Nothing, frankly, is sexier or cooler than someone that has such a unique style that is so different from mine, that is so them. Like when I see other people and I'm like, I would never wear that. That is the
Yeah.
sickest fucking thing I've ever seen. You look amazing and I can feel the confidence
Yeah.
rating from you. Like that's what I
Well, it's
want. I
energy.
want everyone to
Yeah.
wear whatever the fuck they want that gives them that
It's
feeling.
yeah. It's the same energy as what you said of like, I looked in the mirror and I decided I'm hot.
I really gaslit myself into thinking I'm hot. Did you see that, Esther?
That TikTok you sent me was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my
I
life.
was like, she stole that from me.
It was funny. By the way, I
So
think we said
funny.
it backwards, so I wanna flip what we were saying earlier, but I don't know if we said it backwards, but just remember, we are not meant to fit clothes. Clothes are meant to fit us.
Yeah,
I don't know if
absolutely.
we said it the flipped way.
Oh, I don't know either, but that's what I've meant the whole time.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you
right.
for clarifying, just in case.
So exciting. Congratulations.
It's so much fun. It's a fun place to play
Yeah.
with creativity and self-expression. I love
I
fashion
hope
for that.
yeah, I
I
hope your
really do.
healing is going well.
Ditto.
Any tips for sticking to new boundaries in real time, in parentheses, when somebody pushes back? I would say just don't respond right away. Don't react right away. That's a lesson that I've learned where like when I get triggered or someone's pushing me or testing me, I remember I don't need to respond in that exact moment. So even if it's like taking a beat, repeating back what they just said, that's like a good
Mhm.
trick if you don't want the silence of repeating
Mhm.
back what someone just said to you, or literally having a really diplomatic answer of like, I'm going to leave this here for right now. I need to chew on this. I'll get back to you.
Absolutely. And then a meditation practice where you can separate yourself from your emotions and your thoughts and not get swept up in the narrative of them. And then look at the narrative of them from a detached perspective where you can understand where this is coming from in you, what it reminds you of in your past, why that hasn't healed, what do you need to give yourself to heal that moment, and now how can you act in according to alignment now? Thank you. And
Goodbye.
scene.
Thanks for coming to our TED Talk.
That was supposed to be a curtsy, not a dab for anyone that. Anyway.
Somebody asked, how do you feel about school?
I love school. I
I
loved
love
school and
school.
I thrived at school. I have lots of I don't think it's for everyone. I think it's so set up for only one type of learner to succeed. I don't think it's necessary. I wonder, we even said,
Hold on. I don't think it's, but like, you don't think it's necessary at all? First of all, we're talking about like
no, I don't
what
think it's
level of
necessary for
education?
jobs in the world, college. I'm talking
Okay.
about college.
Okay.
But
You don't
I'm
think it's
saying
necessary for any
all
job in the world
no,
other
I'm
than
saying
like,
I don't think the way that boomers have said you have to go into debt to get this job in this experience when
I agree. Okay. I agree.
it just doesn't add up to anything. But I think from fucking preschool through college, I think we're absolutely geared to only specific types of learning that are not conducive to helping the entire world. I think we're focusing on teaching things that are so fucking stupid sometimes that quite frankly, we could be offering if I may I please,
Yes,
having
please.
worked with the homeless population, if we fucking taught independent living skills in school, like emotion regulation,
Mhm.
how to pay taxes, how to look at different forms, how to manage a bank account. Do you know how many lives we would fucking save by teaching that in public education? But rather, instead, we're going to learn the Pythagorean theorem. Like, unless you're going to go into mathematics or like need certain things, we need such a restructuring of what we're teaching. It's not even funny. And I'm raised by a teacher,
Mhm.
an elementary school teacher, special education teacher. I'm raised by people that got dual master's degrees and doctorates. I'm the least educated person in my family. Well, that's not quite true, but between me and my parents, like I loved and thrived in education and would consider myself a lifelong student and was so grateful for the experiences I had and would go back to school if that was something I wanted. I think it's so individual to people. And I think it needs so much. I can't think of any word besides like tune-ups
Mm.
to where we are in society now that it's not even fucking funny. I think we need to pay teachers livable
Oh
wages.
my
Our teachers are
god,
our
that's
entire
fucking step number
future.
1. It's
And the
ridiculous.
way we treat them is so horrific. It's not even funny. And they're setting up our entire future generations.
Mhm.
And we don't want to take care of them at all. I have so many thoughts about school. Would you like to add?
No, because I
I'm
co-sign
getting
anything.
worked
And I
up.
want to be really clear that I was pushing back because I wanted you to explain it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always push back. It's called That's My Very.
Mhm. No, I co-sign. I co-sign the
You don't
above.
have
Well,
any other insights?
no, I mean, I think that, like I think the only other thing that I would say is in terms of a college education, my thing is, like, you know how we talk about when we complain about, like, the systems that we live in, but at the end of the day, like, we're still currently living in them, and, like, yes, we can fight to change them, but we're still currently living in them. Like, it would be, I think, an oversight to just simply say, like, you don't need a college education or you don't need those things for the current system that we currently live in, because I don't think that's necessarily true. Now, do I agree with it? That's a different story, but I think that, like, obviously we're not talking about you being a lawyer, being a doctor, all these other things that, like, require certain
Mhm,
degrees.
mhm.
Um, I mean, thank God I don't.
If you don't know what you wanna do,
Yeah.
college is such a cool
Yes, if
experience
you
to
have the
try a
that's
lot
the
of things
thing, like,
on, like,
if you have
if
the
you have the
opportunity,
means.
I think if
Mhm.
you have the opportunity to do it and it's something that you're interested in, I think it's a great way to, like, it's like a little intro.
Learn about
Learn about
yourself.
yourself. It's giving you that space in between, like, adolescence and adulthood. I loved
Mhm,
college. I had a great time. I think if I went back to school, I would do it differently in terms of, like,
mhm.
just being there more to be like, I'm a student to, like, learn instead of
Mm.
I don't know. I think I don't know, different conversation, but
My sister went back to college in her 30s because she actually then cared about her education and
right.
wanted to learn and had such a fun
Right,
time.
because like, I didn't love school. I loved the classes that lit me up, which just makes sense with, like,
Yeah.
everything that
Upper
explains the way that I
divisions.
am,
Yeah.
and just, like yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't until, like, my senior year of college that I was taking all these electives that
Right.
I was like, "Wow, this is fucking" even if I didn't understand it, I took a class about political violence that was the most taxing class I've ever fucking taken. There were 10 of us, so we were forced to talk every single time. I felt like the dumbest person in the room every single day, and it was my favorite class in the entire world. Like, I learned it was
Cool.
so
I
interesting.
love that.
But yeah,
Even
that's
when I hated college and was, like, not having a good time and thought it was supposed to be the happiest time of your life and wasn't having fun, then guess what I did? I got involved and I got a
Mhm.
job at my counseling and psychological services, and I met people that I was interested in. I worked in mental health for the first time. Like, if you don't know what you wanna do or you're figuring it out, it brings great opportunities. It's not necessary for everyone. I think it's gonna shift a lot in the upcoming years.
I hope so, yeah.
I hope so
But
too.
I think that yeah, I think that, if the opportunity is there, I think it's a wonderful, like Mano said, great place to be fun and learn about yourself. Be
I think
safe,
it can be.
always.
Yeah.
'Cause that's just a whole other conversation
Mhm.
is college campuses. Okay.
But I really want people to know whether or not you do go to college, like, should not change the way that people look at you
Oh,
or your intelligence, and I feel that very,
absolutely
very
not.
strongly, and I've watched that affect people in my life
Yes, thank you for
greatly.
bringing that up.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Like, I like what you said too of, like, you're just a student of life and you're always constantly learning because
Mhm. And you're finding different
the amount
classrooms.
of
It doesn't have to be a
yes,
traditional one.
I have nothing else to add because everything that I will add is just repeating and not adding value because thank you for bringing that up. Very good point.
It's still valuable, but keep going.
Thank you. Sometimes when we do these Q&As where they're really quick and back to back, my brain is moving faster than my mouth and I, like, can't get everything out, and then I
Yeah,
feel like we're just, like, talking really fast,
same.
it's just, like, a lot. It's a lot for me.
But I guess that's why people like them. They say they like when we go really fast rather than answer, like, 4 questions an episode.
Okay.
Has this been 4
No,
questions?
we're on question 11.
Watch it. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Similar to college, somebody asked, "Just finished college and don't like my degree. What would you recommend?" Sis, your skills are transferable.
Absolutely.
I studied political science because I was fucking curious about it. I asked me if I used my poli-sci degree in a typical setting. Absolutely not, but it taught me well, it furthered my education on how to write.
Mhm.
It expanded my knowledge of the world, gave me a
Mhm.
general better understanding of what the fuck is going on.
Mhm.
It was interesting. It lit
Mhm.
me up in that way.
Mhm.
Bro, I went to work in magazines and worked in fashion, like,
Yeah.
and now I don't even work in fashion anymore.
My mom's favorite thing to bring up was at my high school graduation, they asked all the parents how many people graduated and got a job in the major that they graduated in, and, like, 2 hands went up. And then, like, how many people
And they're
changed their
probably
major?
doctors.
Every single hand went up. Like,
Yeah.
it's everyone's experience. Find something new that you like. Your skills are transferable. Don't box yourself in.
Don't box yourself in. Skills are so transferable. And by the way, I find it, at least in my experience, I found that employers, especially in my field, were so interested in the fact that I was a poli-sci major because
Cool.
it had so nothing to do with what I was applying to. They were, and
Yeah.
that was,
Interesting
and
to
then I
bring that
would boast
perspective into
about,
a new field, and yeah,
and then
very
that's a good
cool.
opportunity for you to like boast about yourself in that interview and talk about how your skills are so transferable.
Very cool. Love that
It just
advice.
makes you a well-rounded person.
Absolutely.
Tips on same thing. I feel like we answered it earlier. Tips on getting motivated with work and school. I mean, I was just gonna say like the taking inventory of where you're expending your energy and just making sure to remain present and like remember that you're there to learn and to enjoy the process as much as you can. It's a great opportunity to be able to be in school.
Yeah. Tap into your authentic why. When it comes to motivation, if you haven't rationalized a personal connection or what comes back to like really why you want to do this, it's really fucking hard to motivate yourself. Figure it out. Figure out where this is supporting you and why you want it, and remind
I love
yourself of
that.
it.
That's great advice. Oh, and rest. Make sure you're finding time to rest. And
Oh
rest
my
doesn't mean just
God,
like
rest.
going and getting drunk with your friends. Like that's not
No,
resting.
rest is being at
It's
home.
fun, but it's not
Rest
resting.
is being at home and stretching and meditating, or just like staring into the
Sleeping.
abyss, sleeping, looking at the ocean.
Getting good sleep
Non-sleep
though,
deep
yeah.
breaths. How many times can Andrew Huberman talk about it? I called him Daddy Huberman to Aaron the other day. He was like, "Don't you fucking do so." Now I call
It's
him
like, don't ruin this for me.
Daddy Huberman.
Oh my God.
Daddy Huberman
That's
taught me.
hilarious.
Tell me your dad died.
I saw the most, by the way, I'm not gonna say who it was, but I saw somebody on TikTok talking about how they listened to the Huberman podcast, and I was just like, you do not like I was like, wow, never judge a book by its
Book by its
cover.
cover. You have to tell me
Yeah.
after.
Yeah, I will. You're gonna be like, oh, that's funny. Tips on one-sided friendships. They said, do I just accept that this is the end? No. No, don't accept that it's just the end.
Well, who's being one-sided
I think it's probably coming from a place of like they're feeling like they're giving and
and
not
not
receiving.
receiving? Yeah.
I will say, like,
Have a conversation.
like reach out to them, have a conversation, let them know how you're feeling, give people a chance. Sometimes we need to tell people the way that we need to be loved.
Oh, no, always we need to tell people the way we wanna be loved.
Yeah,
What,
not
we're gonna be
sometimes.
mind
Yeah,
readers? Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Thank you.
It is your right to have needs, and it is your obligation to communicate them.
Yeah.
Said it before and I'll say it again. Also, as a friend, I feel like I've very much go through in and out of phases where I'm emotionally available for other people, and who those people are can cycle depending on their proximity to me, if we're working together versus if we're not, if they have a new job. Like there's seasons in friendships too. So I think like
Mhm.
being really cognizant of that, and then don't put all your eggs in their basket either. If they're at a place where like they can't be there in the way they have been in the past right now, then go tap in and develop some other relationships that feel really good, and we can always circle back.
There's also a difference between can't and won't, so I would make sure to get clear on
Absolutely. But
that.
if you've tried all these things and it's just not working out, then yeah, lean into maybe you don't have to say goodbye forever, but lean into some other friendships that are giving back right now. That's okay too.
Okay, last one before we get to rapid fires, which I think is
Ooh.
perfect on our timing.
Okay.
So they said, so the work is never ending. How did you each know when you'd be done enough to date? They said, context. I feel like I always lose myself in relationships and I'm surprised every time.
Mm. My answer for how I knew is different than the advice I would give in that situation.
Okay. Do you
Because
want to give both?
frankly, I didn't know. He walked
Hmm.
into my life and I didn't know. And it was like a
Yeah.
manifestation come to life that fucking blindsided me, which is really beautiful and cool. That being said, there are still a lot of things that were unhealed, and my partner still worked through them with me and continues to. So I think it's different for everyone. I think if you're noticing a pattern that keeps coming up every time, but you're surprised and it's always after the fact that you're noticing it, that's an occasion where like working with a professional can really
Hmm.
hold a mirror up to you more in real time, more frequently, to kind of help you start to notice warning signs or like things that are coming up as they're happening, or having a journal practice where you're being really
Yeah.
honest with yourself about it. I think just implementing different systems where you have more check-ins along the
Mhm,
way.
mhm.
But it's so hard. No one can really tell you if you're ready besides you. And does anyone ever feel ready? That's what people say with relationships, with
Yeah.
kids, with everything. Like there's always a part of you that doesn't feel done. So also having an understanding of bringing that work into the relationship and how you present it and talk about it and support each other. And it's all a part of it. What do you think?
I completely co-sign all of the above, and just, yeah, being in a space, especially if, like, doing the work and bettering yourself is important to you, finding a partner, making sure that the next relationship you're getting into, they're also open to it. I'm not saying that they need to, like,
Mhm.
dive in the same way that you are if that's not that important to you, but for me, at least, it was really valuable that, like, I had somebody who was down to, like, do it alongside me, but also that
Mhm.
had the, was
Wherewithal.
the not the wherewithal, but, like, just had a more solid. Okay, here's what I'm trying to say. Both of our identities were pretty much formed because, like, do you know what I
Mm.
mean? We were both very rooted in who we are.
Mm.
Then from there, like, the work was flourishing. But I don't think
Mhm.
that, like, either one of us was, like, susceptible to being swayed just because, like, some guru is telling us to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense, and I'm just smiling because in my head, the exact opposite came up as you said that. Like, I feel like I feel more open to a place of healing and being with someone when I released all attachment to whatever identity I thought I had.
Okay.
And that's what let me know that I was clear and ready to change and help and grow and be with someone else because I have no more attachment to the identity of who I was previously.
See, you've done more work on that than I have. Because, like,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I do have attachment to.
Or different work. It might not be more,
Yeah,
it might be
because I
different, it might
do
not be
have
for you.
attachment to my identity. Maybe I'm just misinterpreting the way that you're saying it. I just think that, like, what I mean by that is I was in a place, like Meadow said, similar but different because I was on a dating app, so it's different obviously, but, like, he did, and everybody that I've spoken to that, like, isn't in my personal life day to day, like, I was getting my eyebrows done with the same girl that I always go to, and she was like, "I feel like your boyfriend came out of nowhere." Like, one day I was hearing you talk about this, and then all of a sudden this came in, and I was like,
Yeah,
"No,"
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
all of,
it's
like,
true.
beauty people around me were like, "What the fuck?" Because they would get, like, all the tea from everything in
Yeah.
my life,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's really
yeah.
how it
Oh, that's
felt,
cute.
because, like, it is
Yeah, it no,
really,
it did feel that way.
it
Yeah.
fully did because it was, like, from one moment to the next, like, yeah, I was, like, dating and
I remember
whatever.
the day.
It was
Yeah.
dating around and whatever, and then all of a sudden it was like, "No, no, 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 no. We're good." Like,
I found someone.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But again, I wasn't done cooking. I wasn't finished because we're not finished products. But what I mean by let me find a way to say what I meant about our
Well, I don't think you
identities.
have to find a way because I don't think one way is more right than the other. I just think it's interesting that, like, I have a download that felt very different. I think people do it in different ways, and people need different things at different times, and that's what brings
I think
things
what
in.
okay, here's
I don't think it's ever gonna
yes,
look the
because
same.
here's the thing is, like, what I'm saying about that is basically the reason I brought that up was because I was saying that I think it's valuable for, if doing the work is important to you, to find a partner that is also willing to do it as well.
100%.
And my point with
Absolutely.
that is that how many times have we said on here, like, use your deductive reasoning skills, be like, use your
Yeah.
common sense. And I think that was my point
Yeah.
about it, was it's very easy for people to slip into, it's like, gullible's the wrong word, impressionable is the word I'm looking for. Like,
Mm,
it was
mm.
important for me to find someone who was not deeply impressionable, where they could discern what was valuable, what they could take, what felt aligned, what didn't feel aligned. And that's the point
Boy,
with.
did you need that distinction.
Yes. So I think that is what I was
Mhm.
aiming for, and that's what I was saying,
Love that. Love that.
because he has allowed me, like, my identity has I guess who I am at my core and who I've, like, felt myself to be, has been able to shine through and illuminate with him in a way.
With him.
Yes, with him in a way that it was not illuminating before, which has led me
Mhm.
now to feel much more aligned. So it's not like I was already in this place.
Absolutely.
Guys, I mean, if you've been
Absolutely.
listening to this podcast, you've heard the way that I shift and talk. And, like, if you look at
Yeah.
the freaking my friends comment on pictures of us, they're like, "I cannot believe you're talking."
Can't believe you're a simp.
Seriously,
Yeah, it's so
I'll
true.
read text
It's so
messages that I
true.
say to him and I'm like, "Oh my God." Like,
It's amazing. It's
no,
so
it's wild.
fun.
So I definitely shifted in that way.
Mhm.
God, I keep, like, burping on this freaking podcast.
My stomach was grumbling so loudly 10 minutes ago that I'm sure you could
Oh
hear
my
it.
God, Kay, edit it out, please. Last time Kay, they did
The
the
No, you guys have no
most.
idea how much K does for you.
No,
I
no,
just
no,
need
no,
you
no,
to know.
no. What, like, does for the people?
Yes.
Yeah, Kay literally zoomed in on me burping. Like me being like, I hope that they edit it out. And they like zoom in on my face.
I love Kay so much.
Oh my God, kills me. What was the
Rapid
point?
fire.
Oh, rapid fire.
We're moving on.
Yeah, I liked your answer though. Okay, rapid fire. Fave apps to go to on your phone. Let's not say social media.
Oh, okay. Is Pinterest count?
No, go ahead.
Okay,
Pinterest.
Pinterest, New York Times, Insight Timer, photos. The amount of times I just look through my photos app because I like taking photos or just like reliving
Ooh,
memories.
just got chills. Yeah.
Someone walking over your grave, baby. Wait, can
Mm,
I look at my phone?
yeah, I'm
Maybe
looking at
that'll
my
help.
phone. Same. Love Pinterest.
Star Walk 2
What the
to
fuck is
look up at the
that?
stars. Star Walk 2
Oh,
is the thing that scans and shows you where the stars are in the constellations. So much fun.
yep. Love.
Tezza for
Oh,
photo editing.
I was about to say Tezza. Tezza for
Were
photo
you?
editing
Yeah.
or Lightroom. Love the two. Wait, this is
Depop?
like not something that I use every single day because I use it to go to bed. Sleep Cycle, best
Oh,
sleep app
I've used that
ever.
ever since you taught me. Best sleep app ever.
I wake up to birds chirping, incrementally getting louder every single morning. It's
Yes.
fucking wonderful.
So do
That's like
I.
pretty much it. I don't really like use
My
my.
Flow for period tracking.
Yep, we love Elisavity.
Uh-huh.
Good period tracking
There's a
app.
human design app. Did you get the app? I
Nope.
have the app, funny enough,
We
but I
love the
don't.
times.
Love the times. And I've also been so into not Wordle, but the one where they gives you all the letters and you make different. I do the mini crosswords. Sometimes I do the big crossword, but not really because I don't have the time. And then I do the word ones a lot.
Mm,
Do you know what I'm talking about? I like the games. I mean, the news is
I'm
great,
not a
but I like
game.
the games.
I'm not a game girl. I won't lie. Like
Oh.
if I'm not using social media and I'm not like editing a picture or like
Picture?
using cycle to go to sleep or my
Not
flow,
really
like
on the
I'm
phone.
not on my phone. I'd rather like do it on
Yeah.
my computer. I'd rather go on Pinterest on my computer, not my
Oh,
phone.
same. Oh, yeah, same. I just mean like if I'm in line and I don't want to be scrolling Instagram, sometimes I'll look at Pinterest
Hmm.
or something.
I
But
love
usually
reading.
just
I
look
love reading
around.
through my
You're
notes
right.
app. I always have random notes in there.
Oh, I've mine. How many notes do you have?
Oh Jesus.
And then find a random one and read it.
I clear out recently. I have 687. How many do you have? Like 2,000?
1,554. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Closing my eyes. Stop. Click. Oh, that's not fun. It was a shopping list.
Okay. Well, I'm going to read the latest one that I have on it because it's
Okay.
from this morning. How much can life change when instead of life happening to you, it starts happening for you?
Oh, I love that.
That's from this morning.
The one that was above the one that I scrolled and clicked and I said that's boring. It's a shopping one was a quote that Zoe said was January 8th, my mom's birthday. He came home from the gym and I said, "How was the gym?" And he said, and I quote, "I didn't have pre-workout today, so I just had to go off trauma." And I said, "Okay."
Fantastic Zoism.
I said, "Okay."
Fantastic
Okay.
Zoism.
2 more rapid fires. Wow, I really gotta pee.
I do too.
Will there be another event? Yes. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes, we just
Don't.
okay.
Thoughts may vary. Okay.
Yeah.
Something that you've achieved. This person, by the way, that asked this question always asks the sweetest questions. Something that you've achieved that makes you feel proud every time you think about it.
Ah,
While you chew on it, the immediate first thing that came to my brain was moving to LA.
yeah, has to be.
Every time I
Has
go
to
out on
be.
my balcony and I see the little Hollywood sign, I'm just like, "Ah, I did it."
Hmm.
Makes me happy.
I don't know my perspective and my mental health.
Yeah.
Every time I think
Say it
about
with
like
your
where I'm at
chest.
and how I feel, I just am like,
Yeah.
I'm in
Yeah.
awe by how much I've gone through and how
Mhm.
good that I continue to feel and how I move through it.
Yes. Yes. Dude, it's so fucking true. When I think about like pre-Hoffman Gabby,
Yeah.
she's so proud. She's screaming, crying,
Oh
throwing
my
up, so
God. Oh
excited.
my God. My 16-year-old self is gagging. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not that way. I'm watching too
Or
much
maybe.
RuPaul, or maybe,
Yeah.
honestly, yeah.
Okay.
And co-create.
Oh,
Oh, that's something else I wanted to say. Not for nothing, but co-create has an entire pattern section. So for the person that is in relationships and is kind of shocked by their patterning every time,
yes.
co-create has a whole section on patterns. So
Mhm.
not for
Oh,
nothing.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Not for nothing. But co-create is so fucking good.
Yeah, it is really
I'm
good.
trying to
We
think.
worked
I
on it
feel
for
like Hoffman
months.
has an app, and I think that there's resources on there for people who have not been there
That's
that they
cool.
can, I'm pretty sure.
Look
Last
up.
time I
Yeah, that's
checked, which
cool.
was like 2 years ago, so I should refresh and then find out.
Sweet.
But good pattern stuff with Hoffman.
Cool.
All right.
Wow, great questions. Thanks,
We got
everyone.
through like 15 questions.
Wow, that's a lot for us. I hope you like
Proud
it.
of us. Me too. I gotta pee. I gotta stretch. I gotta
Yeah,
eat
let's
lunch.
go. Let's move on with our day. Love y'all.
All right. Love you. Thank you for
TYL.
listening. Bye.
How's it going, y'all? It's Aaron. Don't let your Monday suck. Don't have those Sunday scaries. I'm tired of everybody waking up in the week saying, shit, it's Monday. You know what goes down? TMV releases every week on Mondays. Make sure you rate and review wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're watching YouTube, yes, TMV has a YouTube. Be sure to subscribe and ring that noti bell and never miss a thing. And also, join the TMV Familia by joining the Thoughts May Vary Patreon and by following at Thoughts May Vary Pod on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you for listening.
Great.
There you go.
Thanks, AB.
Got y'all.